All right. So how to separate truth? So how to separate truth? How to separate truth? Like a demonstration of me practicing is I choose to serve through the power of love. That is my newest true choice. And what I'm putting focus on is how to separate truth. And you know it's true because what you want is on the other side of your resistance. And the resistance or facing, seeing, allowing the resistance is the hard part. It is the part that we have been conditioned. It is our conditioning to avoid this lack and attack orientation perspective. And so how to separate the truth is easy with 3 steps. It's simple because you're already doing the 3 steps. And it's silly because you just need to change your starting order, change your starting position. So the easy 3 steps are: 1, what do you want? And notice your nervous system, how it responds to the word want. That is your response. Notice, is it a positive or is it negative? If it's negative, this is resistance. It's why you can't have it. It's step number 2, your resistance. Why you can't have it. Just to be aware. And our conditioning is to avoid it. But when we look at and through the resistance, we know that it is our truth. And that's part of humanity waking up to our victimization that we're doing to ourselves. So I'm here to explain these 3 steps so that you can feel them. And when you feel them, when you experience them, when you know how to respond to them, then you know if you're doing it powerfully. Not right, not wrong, just doing the steps powerfully in the direction of what you want, just because you would love to have it. That is what I choose to serve through the power of love. And with step number 1, it is our society misses a key ingredient. What you want just because you love it. Because our starting position, as silly as it sounds, as subtle as it is, when we give our power away, we are a victim. And you resist seeing this aspect of you. And that is what we uncover. That is what we worked together with here. Takes about 30 days for free for you to see where you're giving your power away. And it's only in the resistance do we see our pattern. And what I know now, working this for 2 years, our patterns are about 80% in the negative. And it's like, are you creating more problems or are you creating more miracles in your life? These 3 steps tell you why and how to change them. And so that is what my intention is, for you to feel the first 2 steps. And then I will give you the fastest way you will know how to change it And you can see the fastest way I know how. That is the slowest way. But it is to make you aware is the key. Because you don't trust me. And I trust that this works under all circumstances, under all conditions, when you start with what you want, just because you love it. And so if we say what we want, is this segment is entitled How to Separate Truth. So if you want the truth, what is true for you? Most people don't even know where to start, where to look. I say, what's true for you by looking in your heart. So what's true? What are 5 words that you would associate with truth? This is still step number 1. We're just going a little deeper. And what do you want? And so the truth, like truth, we're putting focus on truth. So how would you know you're in truth? It's like, what other 5 words are associated with truth? So if you like, truth? It's like, are you triggered positively or negative with truth? I'd say most of us are positive. It's like, oh, that's a good characteristic. That is a positive charge. That is in the direction of life, of yes, of creator, of power, of passion, of purpose and peace. It's like, yeah, all of that. And just notice how it triggers your skin, your senses, your pictures in your mind. What does your mind do? What does your body respond with the word truth? See, step number 1 is the hardest because of step number 2, which is the resistance. Because if you want the truth, there's resistance that says you can't have it. We all have it. It's part of our childhood. We went for something and we couldn't figure out why we couldn't have it. And so this child that is just beginning to talk comes up with a story of how it is. And the resistance for most people ends up being a sabotaging pattern. And when we recognize this negative version of us, meaning we're giving our power away to the resistance, to fear, for most of us, it's fear of something happening that we made up as a child. We don't want it to happen. And we run this over and over and over in our life, creating more problems than miracles. It's silly because we are actually creating the problems, even though we're trying so hard to avoid them. That's just like avoiding the resistance. Step 1, what do you want? Just because you love it. So here it's like, what is true for you? It's like finding the foundation, not to judge, because judgment is part of the resistance. Part of our lack and attack society is the judger, is comparing, blaming. And when we go for what we want just because we love it, there's nothing else that we need to do, prove. It's just, oh, it's true. It's true. So as you think about truth, I think about yes. So just think about that word yes. What do you say yes to? And just notice your trigger to yes. Where do you feel it in your body? Name the emotion. Is it a positive charge for you? This is your truth. And when you see this, you know this, it's like feel this because this is what you want. You say, why can't I have this? Step number 2, that becomes the resistance. And sometimes what you want is a flowing. It's like, I don't want any resistance to it. Great. And so the truth is, do I have resistance to that? And if you're flowing towards it, it's like there is no resistance. So I just keep taking the obvious action. And you can sit in and ask now, it's like, do I feel any resistance? And then it's like, oh, if there's no resistance, what's the obvious action to be that, to have that now? It's like, oh, so as I was in my truth, again, I step into the...
Ice Margie.
Hello? Hello? And that is like step 1 is the hardest, because what do you want? We told ourselves as a child, we can't have it. And we believe this is our truth. In this mass, it covers up, it hides what is true in our heart. And so it's as if we have our head that is thinking, it's talking to us. We have a heart, which is the truth, our love, our yes, our passion, what we want, and our guts, our intestines, our stomach, our feelings, which usually tells us our no's, our resistance. And so if you have resistance to something, that means it matters to you. Not until you go through that resistance do you see why. Can you understand why? Can you create and engage with and experience why? And that is why the resistance we must let go of, number 2 step, which allows us to take the action to have what we want. And so even as I just say, you can have what you want, you get 2 charges. There's 2 possibilities. You are excited about that and there's no resistance. Or you say, oh, I can't have that. I'm not good enough. That isn't for me. Whatever limits you from having that, that is your resistance. And when you allow that to be true for you, yes, that is just my resistance. Don't judge it. Don't run away from it. Just allow it. Allow everything that could happen with it, and know that you're a powerful creator. That's how you change it. What is the obvious action? So that I'm in my truth, in my yes today. And any question, any moment that shows up, when you remember to do the first step really is, what do I want? Know that it's a feeling. And if you don't know, it's like, oh, what would I just love to have? And then what would I do? Who would I need to be? Have it now. This is when we can stop giving our power away. Because that is what you really want, is the emotion of the end result. We want the feeling. And we've told ourselves from a young child, making sense of the world, 1 of 6 are our dominating. My dominating sabotaging pattern was, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough as I am. I'm not good enough with what I know. I'm not good enough, so I need to prove more, be seen, make more money. And then I could be loved. When I was perfect, when I was capable, when I belonged, when I had it all, when I was accepted, then I could be loved. I could be the father, the husband, the dad that I knew I was. And it's sad because I never got there. So if you have resistance to the obvious action, then come learn how to change that so you can take the action. If you have resistance to making money, to being in healthy relationships, or if you just want more miracles in your life, click the link and come join my free webinar where we'll move your blocks to money. Whatever you can't have. And don't miss my next, click on the link. Click on the link, and I'm going to take you through more processes to remove your resistance. All I'm working to do is make you aware that you can change your resistance. This is how you can do it. And I give you as much for free so that you can do this for yourself. I have courses for coaches, for people that want to learn how to teach others how to do that. That is where I make my money. But until that moment that you say that's you, if you just want to learn this and apply this into your life and see how it changes, how it solves all your problems, when you learn to go for what you want, and when you know what you want just because you love it, that is when you can have it. So if you say to yourself, when I have, fill in the blank, when I have, what is it for you? When you achieve what? For me, it was when I have my 10 million, when I have all my money, when I have all my businesses, when I have all this success, when I make all this money, when I'm this big, when I'm this good, then I can enjoy my life. I made $40 million. It still didn't fulfill me. I've been broke. I've lost it. I'm building it back up. And I'm at the, and I'm doing it with what I love. I'm doing it by serving through the power of love. And so if you want to learn how to do that in your life, I invite you to join me. I invite you to learn for yourself, because my greatest service is to bring out the greatest you that's there, to bring out your truth, your purpose, your passion, your fire. and share it with the world. It's never been done in my lifetime before. I've always been afraid. I've always resisted doing it. But when we learn how to be a powerful creator, that we are creating what we want, when we can go for what we want and you can have it, you can flow towards it, we can create a life that is flowing. And that is a life worth living. And that is everyone's right as a being alive. And I say that is a great foundation for us to start from. So in the next video, learn how to change your money blocks, your relationship blocks. It is a beautiful process that allows you to see relationships differently. It is one of 20 that are extremely powerful. I invite you to experience them for yourself, because that is when you can make the assessment of value. So remember, whenever you're stuck, ask, what do I want? How do I want to feel? What do I want as the end result of this? And then notice that you can have it now. You can be it now. And from that perspective, it's wisdom. You can say, what do I need to know? And what's the next action? What's the obvious action? Notice if you're editing your truth. Wonderful journey, enjoying mine, exploring love, serving love, and in a powerful way. So come check me out. Come work with me. Let's build this together. Let's get this message to the world, because it is how we change the world one heart at a time. Through love, through loving one another, through admiring, appreciating, uniting each other. Rather than looking for how we're all divided, let's create how we're all together, how we're all similar, how we're all going together, and how we can help one each other the greatest. Let's stop limiting what's possible. Let's stop focusing on problems and start creating miracles. That's what I'm after. Talk soon.